जटाटवीटलज्ज्वल प्रभावपावितस्थले गलेवलम्ब्यलम्बितां भुजङ्गतुङ्गमालिकां ढमड्ढमड्ढमड्ढमन्निनादमड्डमर्वयं चकार चण्डताण्डवत्तनोतु न शिव शिवम्. Whenever we hear these two words, Shiva Tandavam, this is what generally comes to our mind. Ravana Brahma Virjita Shiva Tandava Stotram. If we take a deeper look into the history of Bharat as well as the philosophy of Sanatana Dharma, the subject of Shiva Tandavam is wide, deep and very complex. And in this short documentary, let's try and understand the untold story, the real history and the philosophy about Shiva Tandavam in a very simple manner. Let's get started. If one wants to understand what is Shiva Tandavam, there are two aspects to it, a philosophical aspect and an artistic aspect. On Project SHIVOHAM, as usual, we only rely on the most authentic scriptures. And for understanding Shiva Tandava Stotram, the philosophical aspect and the artistic aspect, let's try and do the same. Let's get the basics first. Why is the dance of Shiva called as Shiva Tandavam and not as Shiva Nrutyam or Shiva Natyam? Why is it called Shiva Tandavam? सृष्ट्वा भगवता दत्तास्ताण्डवे मुनये तथा नृत्तप्रयोगः सृष्टो यः स ताण्डव इति स्मृतः. नाट्यशास्त्रम by Bharatamuni, 4th Adhyayam, 264th Slokam. The primordial origins of Natyam or dance goes like this. Lord Shiva created this art form of Natyam and gave it to Tandu Maharshi. And this knowledge system of Natya Shastram was passed down to the rest of the world by Tandu Maharshi, and hence it is called as Shiva Tandavam. Natya Shastram, 4th Adhyayam, 264th Slokam says this. So a very natural question is, what is Natya Shastram? Who wrote it? Is it authentic? And so on and so forth. In the documented history of the mankind that is available to us, in the field of art, Natya Shastram is probably one of the oldest, most comprehensive, detailed and complex treatise available to us in the whole world. It will be on the top, literally on the top. Your origins of music, your origins of audiovisual experience as an art form and as an entertainment source. Natya Shastram is the oldest knowledge system that has been continuously existing even till today. In fact, it is called as Natya Vedam. Jagraha Patyam Rugvedastamabhyo Gatimevacha Yajurvedad Abhinayan Rasan Adarvanadapi Tasmat Smruja Param Vedam Panchamam Sarvavarnikam. These are the words of Lord Shiva. Taking in the essence of all the 4 Vedas, I created this 5th Veda called as Natya Vedam, meant for everybody. Tasmat Smruja Param Vedam Panchamam Sarvavarnikam. Sarvavarnikam means for people of all Varnas. Inheriting such a great knowledge systems, today we discriminate each other in the name of caste. Shame on ourselves. So let's get back to Shiva Tandavam, understanding it from the two aspects that I just mentioned, the philosophical and the artistic aspect, starting with the artistic aspect. Let's start with a simple analogy. What is a video or a movie? A video is nothing but a collection of innumerable number of photographs seamlessly following one after the other, creating that movement kind of an experience, right? Flickr book is a good example. You have a bunch of images, you flip it, and then you get the feeling of a movement. So the most discrete part of such a movie or a video is nothing but a photograph. Same way, dance is a collection and a sequence of different poses. Gracefully, the dancer transforms from one pose to another in accordance with the music or the beat, and that's what creates the audiovisual experience. So the very basic building block of Shiva Tandavam is called as Karanam. Hastapada Samayogo Nruttasya Karanam Bhavet. A static and combined pose of hands and legs is called as Karanam. It is the basic element of Shiva Tandavam. And here is a depiction of certain Karanas. Vyamsitam, Kachinnam, Bhujanganchitam. These are different Karanas, more or less like the yoga asanas what we have today. It's a static pose which is the basic element of Shiva Tandavam. And the Karanas go into very complex poses like Lalata Tilakam, Vishnu Krantam, Sakatastyam. These are very complex and difficult positions, so to speak. And here are some more complex Karanas like Atikrantam, Latavrischikam, Gangavataranam, so on and so forth. Like this, there are 108 Karanas created and composed by Lord Shiva and handed over to Tandu Maharshi. And from Tandu Maharshi, written down by Bharata Muni as part of Natya Shastram or Natya Vedam. These 108 Karanas collectively form the corpus of Shiva Tandavam. And from Shiva Tandavam originated Bharatanatyam, and from Bharatanatyam, today we have a lot of other classical Indian dance forms like Kuchipudi, Kathak, Manipuri, and so on and so forth. So this is the history in a nutshell. And all these 108 Karanas, and there are hundreds of nuances within that, but just to stay at a high level, all these 108 Karanas, when gracefully performed in accordance to Sangeetam and Sahityam, which is music and the lyrics, that's what creates a complete and comprehensive audiovisual experience of Shiva Tandavam. Shiva Tandavam is often mistaken as a very aggressive form of dance. That is very much an incorrect notion. Shiva Tandavam invokes all 9 kinds of emotion, the Navarasas. And yes, there are many other nuances, like I said, transforming from one Karanam to another Karanam through a form called as Rechaka, and then synchronizing 2 or more artists while performing the Shiva Tandavam. It's called as Pindi Bandha, and there are many other technical terms under the hood of Shiva Tandavam, but let's not get into all that stuff. But broadly, this is what the artistic aspect of Shiva Tandavam is. And as part of explaining how this Natya Shastram is created, Lord Shiva also says these words: Shajjascha Vrishabhaschaiva Gandharo Madhyamastadha Panchamo Dhaivataschaiva Saptamodha Nishadavan. And these are the origins of Sarigamapadani as we know today. The basic blocks of Bharatiya Sangeetam also originate from Natya Shastram given down by Lord Shiva as part of explaining the Shiva Tandavam. And in the same context, there are many other aspects like how the musical instrument should be forced, how should the group dance be synchronized, expressions, hand gestures, Sangeetam, Sahityam. It's a huge ocean. Like I said, it is the grandest treatise on audiovisual art forms that's available to us. So with that, let's conclude the artistic aspect of Shiva Tandavam and get into the philosophical aspect of Shiva Tandavam. The most simplest way to understand the philosophy of Shiva Tandavam is just by looking at the statue of Nataraja Swami. The Damaru in the right hand of Nataraja Swami signifies the source of creation. The Damaru Dhvani, or the sound of Damaru, it signifies the primordial origins of the creation of nature, cosmos, and everything in it. The Agni in the left hand of Nataraja Swami signifies destruction and dissolution. The end of everything in the nature and cosmos is signified by Agni in the left hand of Nataraja Swami. And there is a very fine nuance in the face of Nataraja Swami. If you take a deeper look, always in any Nataraja Swami statue, you will find this very, very fine nuance. On the right side, for the right ear, Nataraja Swami dons Makara Kundalam, and for the left side, in the left ear, Nataraja Swami dons a Tatankam. Now what are these? Makara Kundalam is an earring or an ear ornament meant for men in ancient times. Makara Kundalam represents the masculine force of life, and Tatankam on the left ear is an ancient ear ornament worn by women in ancient times. And Tatankam represents the feminine force of life, with both masculine and feminine forces inseparably represented in the face of Nataraja Swami, right in the middle of creation and destruction, signified by the Damaru on the right hand and the Agni in the left hand. The statue of Nataraja Swami depicts that the masculine and the feminine forces are central for each and everything in this nature and cosmos. And this philosophy that the masculine and the feminine forces, Shiva and Shakti, are central to the creation and dissolution of everything in this nature and cosmos, which is reflected in the statue of Nataraja Swami. The government of India gifted the European Nuclear Organization in Switzerland, the CERN, a big statue of Nataraja Swami, which is still standing in Geneva in Switzerland. And I'll come back to this topic towards the end of this video. Coming to the fourth and the last important aspect in the statue of Nataraja Swami is Apasmaraka. There is a Yaksha, a dwarf, under the feet of Nataraja Swami, and Nataraja Swami crushes this dwarf with his one leg. Apasmaraka getting crushed at the feet of Nataraja Swami represents ignorance or Ajnanam. I think it's better and relatable if I explain Apasmaraka with an example. So let's try and do that. Tamil language and culture has a very deep antiquity and a rich heritage spanning over thousands of years. And one of the crown jewels of Tamil culture is Bharatanatyam. And the epicenter for Bharatanatyam in the whole world is Chidambaram. And Chidambaram is a place in Tamil Nadu which is the abode of Natarajaswamy. And Bharatamuni Virachita Natya Shastram has a profound impact on Chidambaram. Hence, it has been passed down since generations, this great and divine art of Bharatanatyam. Bharatanatyam is an integral and inseparable part of Tamil culture, and Natya Shastram, which is written in Sanskritam, is the corpus knowledge system for this art form. Now I'm coming to the most uncomfortable part of this entire video. Not for everyone, but for that section of Tamil speaking people who hate Sanskritam. Believe me or not, there are certain section of Tamil speaking people who hate Sanskritam just to prove that they love Tamil. I am not referring to the entire population of Tamil speaking people. I am only referring to those ignorant section of people who are Tamil speakers and hate Sanskritam. Just to be very clear, I am not speaking about or for Hindi, I am only speaking for Sanskritam. Hating any language is absolute stupidity, that's a different matter. But here, this Tamil speaking people hating Sanskritam is practical example of how ignorance and stupidity would look like. And it's not done yet. Let me take it a little further and let me expose the ignorance of this section of people and let us put them in a very tight spot. These two slokas from Sri Ramayanam will bend and blow our minds in many ways. Tadha vangan kalingancha kaushikancha samam tataha anvishya dandakaranyam sa parvata nadi guham nadim godavarim chaiva sarvam eva anupashyata tadhaiva andhrancha pundrancha cholan pandyan keralan. 11th and 12th slokas, 41st Sarga, Kishkinda Kanda, Sri Ramayanam by Valmiki Maharshi. These are the words of Sugriva commanding a force of the Vanarasena heading towards south in search of Masita. He orders the Vanarasena to search the following places: Vanga, which is Bengal today, Kalinga, which is Odisha, Kaushika, I'm not really sure what it is, Dandakaranya, which is in Chhattisgarh, and the rivers and mountains and the river Godavari, and then the provinces of Andhra, Pundra, Chola, Pandya, Kerala. Of these five, Andhra is Andhra and Telangana, as we know today, the Telugu speaking region. Pundra, again, I'm not really sure. Chola and Pandya are undoubtedly the Tamil speaking regions, and we all know about Kerala. Now here is why these slokas are very much mind-bending. The names of these provinces are exactly the same today as it was described in Valmiki Maharshi's Sri Ramayanam, which obviously we all know that it predates Mahabharatam. So just imagine the antiquity, the deep history of these places. A big challenge that this slokam throws at us is the Chola and Pandya dynasty. As per our textbooks or the archaeological findings and all that stuff, it just says that Cholas and Pandyas were like maybe 1500 to 2000 years back, not before that. But what is this? This slokam straight, it addresses these places as Chola and Pandya. So that means these cultures, these dynasties, this language, the great language of Tamil, it most probably exists even during the times of Sri Ramayanam and maybe even before that. Now my question to those Tamil speakers who hate Sanskritam, again I repeat, I am only addressing that section of people who are Tamil speakers and hate Sanskritam. So my question to that population is, you bang your chest that Tamil is the oldest language. We all do celebrate and respect Tamil, irrespective of whether we speak Tamil or not. But the fact of the matter is, your culture is not just 2000 years old. It is much older than that. And Sri Ramayanam addresses these places as Chola and Pandya regions. So the oldest written evidence about your language and your culture comes from Sri Ramayanam, which is revered by millions of people, and this Sri Ramayanam is written in Sanskritam. Now you tell me, will you hate Sanskritam? And for what reason? Hating Sanskritam doesn't make you love Tamil more. That's absolute stupidity, and that is apasmaraka in people like you. And when I said you, does it mean that there is no apasmaraka in me? As a Telugu speaking person, there is an apasmaraka in my Telugu blood as well. And let me expose the hypocrisy or the stupidity of Telugu people. Again, here I am referring to those section of people who feel ashamed of Telugu. Maybe other people from different states might not be aware of this, but Telugu speaking people, they feel very uncomfortable, ashamed to speak their own language. And from this same slokam, it also refers this region as Andhram, and Andhramu means Telugu. If anyone translates anything into Telugu, it is called as Andhrikarana. So Andhra shouldn't be mistaken as Andhra Pradesh or Telangana. No, that's the wrong notion. Telugu is called as Andhramu. So such is the deep antiquity of Telugu, and still there is a huge population of Telugu speaking people who feel ashamed to speak Telugu and prefer only to converse in English. This is apasmarka in us. తెలుగు మాట్లాడడానికి సిగ్గుపడి తెలుగు మాట్లాడడం మానేస్తే ఇంగ్లీష్ బాగా మాట్లాడొచ్చని ఎవడు చెప్పింది మనకి? శ్రీరామాయణ కాలం నుండి ఉన్నది మన తెలుగు. ఈ శ్లోకం చదివిన తర్వాతే నాకు అర్థమైంది. ఎనీవేస్, ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ ఓవర్బోర్డ్, ఐ నో దాట్, బట్ దాట్స్ ఫర్ అ గుడ్ రీజన్. అండ్ దిస్ ఇస్ వాట్ అన్ అపస్మారక వుడ్ లుక్ లైక్. Ignorance. Absolute ignorance. And this ignorance is what is crushed by Nataraja Swami. Summing up the philosophical aspect of Nataraja Swami, who is holding Damaru in the right hand, which signifies creation, and Agni in the left hand, which signifies destruction, crushing the apasmarika, which is ignorance, at the feet of Nataraja Swami. And all this is done by Shiva and Shakti, depicted in the face of Nataraja Swami. In one line, Jagatah Pitaro Vande Parvati Parameshwaro. That is the manifestation of Nataraja Swami. We did not even scratch the surface, but that is all about Shiva Tandavam, the artistic aspect and the philosophical aspect, in a simple manner. But as I said, it's a very deep, wide and complex subject, and is the essence of Sanatana Dharma and the philosophy of Bharat. Angikam bhuvanam yasya vachikam sarvavangmayam aharyam chandrataradhim tam drumah satvikam shivam. That is the bottom line of Shiva Tandavam. Visvam sarvam nataraja virat swarupam. And as always, thanks for watching.